And the first barrier we see is women and men workers' ability to balance work and care responsibility. There's a discrimination against workers based on maternity status. And there are instances where workers feel pressure to not take the full maternity leave or to return to the factory earlier. The second barrier we observe is discrimination across the employment cycle. So we see that there is discrimination in all aspects of employment, from advertising and hiring, career progression, as well as termination of employment. There is sometimes pregnancy tests for younger women to get employment in the first place, so it becomes a precondition to employment. We also hear that younger women workers are discouraged from becoming pregnant while they're employed. And lastly, another issue that we see in terms of gender inequality is the absence of women in leadership positions. What we have observed, depending on country context, is, for instance, the production managers, engineers are typically men, whereas you see HR officers, welfare officers are typically women. And we also see a disparity in terms of women and men having equal access to training and capacity building opportunities.
We understand that having an equal employment opportunity for diversity and inclusion policy, and also a gender balanced workforce, and have a female chief executives are positively associated with the achieve better business outcomes. Vietnam is laying the first brick to build a legal framework, and the labor code, which take effect on January 1st of 2021, makes clear that sexual harassment in the workplace may be disciplined. We also promoting and developing the practical guidebook for companies with the tools on promotion of equality and at workplace, also in the recruitment and in the operations.
We created a management system approach together with GIZ, and it has a gender focus to support our worker-based project called We Women by Lindex. Through training, capacity building, and mentoring, we work with management and owners on changing cultural norms and to improve gender equality issues in the factory. 70% of all Lindex suppliers, and also those of the BGMEA, which have participated in this project, they should have achieved improvements in their scorecards related to gender aspects of social responsibility.
It's important that every single intervention we take, we adopt a gender lens and we mainstream gender and inclusion. For instance, we tried doing this gender mainstreaming training with the trade unions to make sure that they work with us to promote gender equality. We see it as our priority to work closely with our constituents through capacity building and technical support. And across the supply chain actors, also to raise awareness on this issue. In Bangladesh, we are engaging with developmental organizations and nonprofit organizations to form a consortium on gender-based violence and the implementation of the High Court verdict. We're working with BSR, Gap Pace, and Care International to standardize an approach and methodology on women's empowerment trainings. And again, we learned through our experience in promoting gender equality that we really need all actors involved.
Last year that we have trained a lot of women to be the trainer, and which is really good for them. And now it's real a lot of more women to very brave to talk more about the issues, and they really open to discuss their issues at the workplace.
We learned over time about our work in our observation is that skills building is not enough, and that we really need to foster a gender equal environment. There are policies and mechanisms to balance work and family responsibilities. And this means that women and men should have equal opportunity and treatment regardless of their family status. And ensuring that workplaces put in flexible working arrangements to allow workers to meet both work and family responsibilities.
So you have to require and make the factory management aware of the need for education, skills training, mentoring, and really giving women the opportunity to become supervisors or whatever they want to do.
It's most impactful when we engage both women and men on norms, because this is sort of the root cause of all forms of inequality we see. More reflections and discussions on norms, and really getting women and men workers and supervisors and managers to think about why we have, let's say, biases about women and men and on gender.